You're with Clement Manyatela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
Seven minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang, Sanmonani, good morning, Goeiemorgen. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Clement Madimeja Manyatela show. It's wonderful to have you with us here on 702. I hope you're good this morning. Let's kick off the show with the 702 open line this hour on 011-883-0702. The number to dial is that. The WhatsApp line, though, if you want to send us your WhatsApp voice note, is 072-702-1702. What a tricky situation that Sekhukhune United and this player finds themselves in, together with this family that lost a loved one. So Sfisa Zulu is reporting that the mother of that 9-year-old girl who was killed in a car crash involving this Sekhukhune United footballer has broken her silence and is now accusing the team of emotional abuse. Remember last year, we spoke about this on the show. Last year, Keo Mavimbela, who plays for Sekhukhune United, was driving her. In fact, Keo is the neighbor who was driving her daughter and a 13-year-old neighbor to school when the player, Shaune Mogaila's vehicle, veered into incoming traffic and slammed into the woman's car. Police are saying that this soccer player fled the scene. Drugs and alcohol were found in his vehicle. And remember, later on, Mogaila handed himself over to the police and appeared in court, where he was released on a 20,000 rand bail. So I saw a story, I think yesterday or the day before, in the newspapers of how he was back on the field playing. And Sekhukhune United was quoted as saying the family had given them the blessing for this man to go back on the field. And it's just been crazy. I've asked the producers to get a hold of Sekhukhune United, because are they lying? Did they lie to the public by claiming that, oh, the family has given us the blessings, when the family have not? Because the family has come out to say that's not true. We've never given them the blessing for this man to go back on the field. I mean, there are more soccer games that are scheduled with Sekhukhune United, and I imagine this man is probably scheduled to play more games. And I wonder what you think of that. It's so tricky, because this man is out on bail. I'm sure his family and the team have gone to the family of this 9-year-old girl who was killed when his car veered on the road. And what do you do in a situation like that? Do you think what's sensible and rational is for this player not to even think about playing because he has caused such tragedy on this family's lives? Do you think it's fair to expect that? Do you think it's fair that the family must at least give this guy the blessings to continue playing, even though he's about to start trial, hopefully soon, even though they have lost a loved one? Yeah, I'm not sure where I stand then. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I feel for this family of this 9-year-old girl who was killed, because if indeed this driver had taken drugs, had taken alcohol, because that's what the police found in his car, if indeed he had taken that, his actions were reckless, and those reckless actions ended up devastating a family. And his life continues like nothing happened. And this family is left to pick up the pieces. this wasn't just a mere accident. If indeed it's found he was intoxicated, he had taken drugs, then it's his actions that caused this accident. Is it insensitive in your view that he's back on the field playing? And now Sekhukhune United seems to be lying because the family, the uncle yesterday said, we never gave them the blessings. The mom has now come out to break her silence to say, this is emotional abuse. We've tried to get a hold of Sekhukhune United. They haven't responded to us yet. Hopefully they will, because we want to ask who gave them the blessings and how is it that most of the family members are coming out and saying that's not what happened. Let me know your thoughts. 011-883-0702. You can send a WhatsApp as well on 072-702-1702.
Clement Maniatella, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Clement, goeiemôre man. Floris hierso van die Weskaap. Clemmy, very disappointing in Sekhukhune United. It's extremely insensitive. No human life should come second to sport, where it comes to sport, for whether it's for financial gain or promotional gains, but the player itself should have refused to play when he was asked to come and play. This is so sad. Yeah, he fled the scene, which means that he knew that he had alcohol or any substance in his bloodstream. So yeah, so sad for this family. But and how can the coach come onto national TV and saying that he got the blessings? Yeah, man. Wow. Have a good job, bye-bye.
His life continues.
Hi, Clems. On the Shaune Mogaila issue, it's a delicate one. It's a difficult one to really talk about. We often talk about presumption of innocence. So you don't deal with people when you haven't found them guilty. But from a moral point of view, because as much as he must be presumed innocent due to the constitution, morally, I think it's just wrong, man. And he also won man of the match, eh? He won man of the match, shockingly, in one of the matches. So, yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is. And he won man of the match. Yeah. And that's the thing. Can you imagine the family? They're still grieving. There's a 9-year-old girl who was killed possibly because of reckless actions of the soccer player. Now he gets celebrated. Imagine an artist. Here's another example. Imagine an artist who has just, because they were drunk or they were high, had taken drugs, and they were driving recklessly, and that ended up in someone dying on the road. And then the next thing, a couple of months later, they're hosting a popular show. They're on stage somewhere. How's the family feeling? But also, is it also fair to say this man, if we're saying the law must take its course, right? And as this listener says, we're presumed innocent. That's an important legal principle, presumed innocent. Then what are we saying to this footballer? That, okay, sit at home, your life must be stuck until trial, which is probably going to be in the next year or two and may take more years, until trial is concluded and the matter has been finalized. Is it fair then to have that expectation of him that you can't go to work, you can't earn a living, you can't practice your talent, your gift? I'm feeling so much for this family because I can only imagine how difficult it is that as they mourn this 9-year-old girl, and this wasn't just an ordinary accident, right? There are accidents that happen where stuff happens on the road and someone dies, which is also sad. But in this case, this accident may have been caused by someone who was reckless in their actions, someone who may have taken alcohol, who may have taken drugs. And that's what makes it even more tricky. Tsapo, you calling from Johannesburg. What are your thoughts? Hi, Tsapo.
How are you today?
Sure. Go ahead.
Good, my man. As much as the family has lost a young one, it's very painful, my brother, because we also have kids, right? But now, let's understand something. The case is state versus Mogaila, number one. Right? Number two, let me ask you something. Let's say you are leaving work now after your work, right? And then you cause an accident. Must we, the civil society, say you must be chased away from radio?
You can make that call. Nothing stops any civil society or an individual from
Because
raising their concerns.
Already Mogaila is being investigated. That's number one. If he's found guilty, the state will prosecute.
Yeah, but Tsapo, in the meantime, what happens to the family? And I'm saying, you are talking about Clement who finishes his show, gets on the road, there's an accident that happened, right? You're not talking about Clement who probably had stuff to drink, shouldn't be behind the wheel and gets behind the wheel, who may have taken drugs, shouldn't be behind the wheel but gets behind the wheel. That's another level of recklessness, right? That is not just an accident that happens. It's I have done things that are reckless, and my actions have resulted in someone dying. And then you go and live your life, win of the match, get paid millions, go to perform if you're an artist. What does that say and communicate to the family that is mourning because of your reckless actions when your life continues as normal? Is he gone? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Let's go to WhatsApps.
Good morning, Madi Major. Hamilton here in Springs. Regarding the issue of Sekhukhune United, I'm very disappointed and disturbed by the statement that the guy was allowed to go and play again, whereas he committed a serious crime. On top of that, he ran away in the scene of crime. It didn't show remorse, that guy. There was drugs and alcohol. Now you are traumatizing back the family by seeing the guy playing on the TV while they lied that the family agreed that the guy should go back. Now Sekhukhune should be held liable and accountable for lying in the eyes of the public, telling us that they've talked to the family, whereas the mother denied that. South Africa, I'm so disappointed.
Hi, it's David from Centurion. My viewpoint is it's all on the organization if they still want to keep the player into their rank and file and continue to give him a salary, even though that he was caught with drugs and alcohol, which is a criminal offense, drinking and driving, being in possession of narcotics, manslaughter, and then running away from the murder scene, the crash scene. If they choose to keep that man employed, the onus is all on the club.
Hey, Mr. Manyatel. Wawana this Sekhukhune player, Smeta, if he was already convicted and served his time and whatever that is, or acquitted, it will be fine for him to play. But now, since the matter has not even went before the courts for trial, I find it very insensitive. To the family.
Oh, guys, I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of this family. I really am. I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of this woman who lost her child, 9 years old, possibly because of reckless actions. That's not cool. And when you are still mourning, you see someone living their life and continuing with life and winning man of the match. That will be difficult. That would absolutely be difficult for me. It would be devastating. And I'm saying maybe put yourself in the shoes of this family. I don't know. That's why I said to you, I'm torn, right? I'm more leaning towards, should he be out there? Back on the field, trial has not even begun, but I'm also like, okay, if we are saying we respect this legal principle of being presumed innocent until proven guilty, are we suggesting then that every time someone is accused or is about to stand trial, then their life must stop and they must not earn a living? And of course, this is a different case, right? This is not just an accusation. We know what's happened. A car rammed into another car, cost lives. We know the police have come to say there was drugs and alcohol found there. We know this man fled the scene after the accident happened. What do those actions suggest to you? Oh, it's can only imagine how difficult this is for this family. Lesego, you're calling us from Bryanston. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Clement. You know, the saddest part, I mean, some of us run and cycle in the mornings, and it's tiring having to deal with drunk drivers on a Saturday morning coming from a club or something like that, because whenever you leave your house, you pray that, geez, God, let me make it back home safe. And when you hear stories like this, then you realize the importance of when we've moved as a country where we are in a place where if someone says something bad on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, the company reserves the right. They even put it in their contracts to let go of that person. What about a person that actually goes out? This is not an accident. This person, you could largely say it was intent, because they knew that they shouldn't have been driving drunk with drugs and also running away from the scene of the crime. So this is not a person where we say we treat them equally and say, oh no, let them be, they will be proven guilty when they stand trial. No, the family lost a child because of negligence. The family lost a child because of someone who was who decided, I will drive drunk, I will take drugs, and I will run away from the scene. Because you can't say they did not know that there was a possibility that they can cause an accident when taking drugs and driving drunk and then deciding to run away from the scene. So when Sekhukhune, as a club, what does it say of their brand when, number one, they also lie that they've spoken to the family?
Yeah, that's
but
not
number
cool.
two, allow a player that's still going through this process to play. That says a lot about the brand Sekhukhune FC. That it's not a brand that is, respects life and, we can trust. So, yeah, it is it is sad for this family to go through this.
Yeah, and I really hope, if Sekhukhune lied, does anybody know how we can get a hold of them? Because the producers have been trying, we're not winning. They're not responding to us. If you work for Sekhukhune, you're listening to us, can you tell your manager or the coach or just anyone in leadership there, we just want clarity here. Because if really, as an organization, as a football team, you've lied about something so sensitive, I'm asking myself too many questions about you. Nkosinati, you're in Berea. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and all the 702 listeners. Clement, this Shaune Mogaila's story, when I heard that he played, and I checked the statistics, and I found that he even scored. He's the one who scored the winning goal. Sekhukhune won 1-0. And I just asked myself, how did the boy celebrate? Because you know those things. And I thought to myself, no, Sekhukhune were wrong. They were supposed to advise the boy to excuse himself from all the games, because the boy has got a contract, okay, and soccer is his workplace. Since he's out on bail, he's got the right to go and work. Yes, we understand, but I think the boy should be advised to go and talk to his employees. That as it is, because we know Sekhukhune are supposed to be paying him and all the like, but morally, he is the one who is supposed to excuse himself. The club can't force it on him. Yeah. Because if they do like that, he can point to the contract. That now I've got the right these days. But the boy must be the one who goes and excuse himself.
Yeah, got it. Kosinati in Perea, thank you for your thoughts. KK, also, so let's say if this man went to the family, asked for forgiveness and maybe even helped and said, I will take, I don't know, just hypothetically speaking, says, here's some money, I will help with funeral arrangements, I will help with this and that. if he had taken accountability like that with the family, at least on that front, right, while the legal process unfolds, would it be acceptable then for him to go and play? I think so. I think if the family was okay with it, right, if the family says, we've spoken to this man, we are satisfied that he made a mistake, we want him to continue with his life, we want to move on as well as a family and just continue mourning, then I would understand. That's like releasing Chris Honey's killer, while the family of Chris Honey has not been consulted, or has been consulted, but they said, no, we don't agree that this person has to be released because he has not told us everything, or he's not remorseful. Can you imagine that? Someone has murdered your husband or your wife or your child, your loved one, gets released on parole, when you, in the very conditions of parole, is that the victim's family must be consulted. And when you were consulted, you told them, no, he's not remorseful. And we know, for instance, that that man is not remorseful. That evil man. Because he really is evil. He would do it again. Remember that conversation that he had with Annika Larsen on ENCA? Oh, so disgusting. Imagine that. And similarly so here, when as a family, you are still mourning. When as a family, you still don't approve that this guy, after the pain that he's caused, must just continue and enjoy life like that, and then they do enjoy it. I mean, that's going to be heartbreaking, no? KK, in Diepkloof, what do you think? Hi.
Yeah, morning, Clement. My issue here, I don't think that there's anything that hinders the player from playing, because he has a contract with the team. And let's make a comparison between the another case. They would remember the case, I don't know how old were you, the case of fighting Prince Adamayisela, who was hit by the car. And the driver or the owner of the car kept on working up until he was convicted. So in this case, the guy is right to go and render his services to the team. What is only sickening and worrying is the fact that the team, Sekhukhune United, attached some sensitive words as if they have been to the family, and the family have given them a go-ahead or their blessing. What the team should have said is they have kept quiet and allowed the player to play until the matter is resolved by the court.
KK in Diepkloof, thank you so much for your thoughts. It's 9:30.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyatela.
On 702.
23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Did Sekhukhune United lie to the public by claiming that the family of this 9-year-old girl who was killed in a car crash involving their soccer player gave them the blessing for this soccer player to go back on the field and play? As you've heard on Eyewitness News, the mother of this child says, not true. The uncle of this child said, not true, yesterday already. And where is Sekhukhune United? Because we're trying to call them. They're not responding to us. But they have to respond at some point. Did they lie? And how are they handling this situation as a team? Katleho in Mamelodi, what do you think about all of this? Hi.
Hi, Malomadi Major, how are you?
Sure.
I'm good, thanks. Actually, through the matter, I feel like they are failing us. I'm not a big fan of soccer, but I'll be specific. Actually, in my workspace, we have this thing of being tested for substances randomly. They just come in, just check if everything is okay. So with this issue, I feel like actually they are failing us because he got caught red-handed with the evidence. And he still continues to play for the team while actually he's still busy with while they're still busy with this whole thing. And they ended up actually coming with an excuse of saying that actually the family did give them the blessings I feel like there's something wrong. I don't know if maybe it's FIFA which should be blamed because of he got caught with substances actually in his car, but still continues to play while we get tested. While we get tested all the time. So.
No, got you. Katlego in Mamelodi, thank you for your call. Let's also be very careful, right? For now, it's a mere allegation, right? This is what the police are going to put as a case in court during trial, that we found substance abuse, alcohol and drugs, and this person, if they've already drawn blood and they're able to prove maybe that he was intoxicated or had taken substances. So for now, that's not conclusive. So that's what the police will be arguing in court. So it could very well be challenged. Who knows? But I want us to just be cautious so that we don't say it as if it's fact and it's conclusive evidence, because the judge still needs to decide how to approach that, and we'll find out during trial. Tsepiso, you're in Tembisa. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Sharp. How's it?
Good. Yeah, this, I don't condone what the guy did, but he's a human after all, like me and you. As the case is in court, he needs a salary like any other person to carry on with life. And at the same time, once, let's say, through the allegations, they say he must stop play, then now he needs money. And then he start doing crime because he needs money, because he's hungry, as it is happening in South Africa. When people are hungry, they tend to do crime. So I think maybe as people, let's just see how the case unfolds, because at the end of the day, if there was a proof that he was on drugs and drunk and whatever, then the court will take the case and take him to jail, and which is the right thing to do.
Okay, Tsepiso, thank you for your thoughts. Sitelo in Centurion, hi. Hi, Sitelo.
Hi, Clement, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, thanks. Now, thanks, Clement. I think you have just addressed what I wanted to address. To say what was found in his car, the player, which is alcohol or drugs, it's not conclusive. It's just evidence that is there. The judge may decide otherwise. And I wanted perhaps to talk about the presumption of innocence that legal principle relied on. That principle actually entails that you should not be punished before you are found guilty. And if the accused is now deprived the ability to make a living, which is the right they also have to work, it is to punish them before they are actually found guilty by the court of law. Just imagine, and I know this is a very sensitive issue and one is not being insensitive, but just imagine 3 years later, the judge finds that, well, he is not guilty and he's acquitted. 3 years he would have been deprived living and all that. And I think one caller or listener, gave a relevant example with you to say, imagine something happens, and even if you find that there's alcohol in your car or in your Clement, 4 years later, and we know the administration of justice in South Africa can take forever.
Yeah.
You are acquitted, and that's the problem with this. And that's how difficult it is, of course, to balance it.
Yeah.
And into account the moral obligation that one has.
True. I hear your point, Sitelo. So what happens if, God forbid, there is someone that, is found after having killed another person, right? Because this presumption of innocent until proven guilty, I absolutely respect it. But there are circumstances where the evidence is there that this person has done it, and all we're waiting for is, of course, a court process. I don't see how this man is just going to be let free, at the very least, culpable homicide, I would argue. So there are cases where, like Usitelo had the firearm, or Clement had the firearm, fired the shots, and that led to somebody dying. So yes, you can presume that Clement is innocent until proven guilty. But the reality is, while that legal process unfolds, there's a reality also facing us in that the evidence is there before us. Clement shot this person. The person is dead, right?
No,
so,
absolutely, Clement.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm with you. Yeah, you're right. There are two things. It's either he's found guilty of intention, which is just murder, or negligence, which is that culpable homicide. But still, negligence has its own test. And he may be acquitted also on the basis of negligence. Because I think that's where one deals with the objectivity.
Yeah.
And all that, yeah.
And what if they tell us the car, malfunctioned, or, they bring about evidence that when you got in the car, it malfunctioned, and there's evidence of that, and then maybe that's a strong case that they put up. I hear you.
Yes, we don't know. Or something happened in his body, a cramp or something. Or maybe even though he was drinking, he was not intoxicated or something. We don't know, actually. We're all thinking of what could be the outcome of this court process.
True. But also, he shouldn't have run away, hey, after the accident. Still, that didn't help.
Yeah, then another one would say, well, because I was afraid, A lot can happen once something has,
Are you a lawyer, Sitelo?
Yes, I am.
I can hear. Thank you for your call. I can hear that this one, is a lawyer by profession. Who's next? Okay, let's go to Godfrey, who's calling from Sandton. Godfrey, hi.
Hi, Clement. Yes. Clement, I want to challenge two things in relation to this case. The first point is, it is known that if you hit someone or you cause an accident in the township, the probability of being beaten is high. So it is not, it is reasonable sometimes to run away. Let's just accept that as a fact in South Africa. Number two is the mere fact that you had bottles in your car. Whether the bottles were full or were empty, that in itself is not conclusive proof that you were drinking alcohol. I mean, a lot of guys will be having the cooler boxes from the weekend on a Monday in their cars. So if on their way to work they get into an accident, we will say because there was a cooler box full of alcohol, you were drunk. So I just hear everyone making it as if it's conclusive that the boy was drunk. There is a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet. So I'm saying let's wait for the process. Godfrey, that's all my comment.
Yeah, thank you for your thoughts, Godfrey. Sister, you are in queue. Good morning.
Morning, Clement. How are you?
Sharp, sister. Where have you been, sister?
Hey, Dibuka Dijalaka, not Clement. I listen to you every day.
Okay, because you haven't been calling. It's been months.
I know. Sometimes it's just too
Don't
hard
worry us, man. Don't worry us.
I am listening every day. Don't
All right,
worry.
go ahead.
So Clement, look, this is a first thing, because morally and Kabut, being human, you would think this person should stop, right? Because this has happened. But legally, this is a pending charge, which is just an allegation. We know, we've seen, the proof is there, but the laws have to take place. And therefore, the employer can't even decide to say to him, you can't work because you have this pending case. This is what would happen. The employer will be to pay the player his salary monthly, whether he's playing or not. So what do? They decide, okay, let him rather play while we have this case pending. The issue here, why did they lie about it? That's my concern. Why did they lie? And the decent human thing, they could have just gone to the family to say, look, you guys have a pending case with this person. We have an obligated contract with this person that he must work. So this is where we are. This is how we think we're going to go about it, because it's a loss to us if we don't let him play. And therefore, this is what's going to happen. Further than that, the law is the law. We have to wait for the law. As sad as it is, I feel for this woman, honestly. But unfortunately, we have to wait for the law to take its course. That's a sad thing.
Thank you for your thoughts. Sister in queue, and all the best with your studies there. Mutupa in Centurion, hi.
Hi, let me tell you.
Sure.
Great, Tada. Look, this matter is very, very delicate matter. And my 2 cents on this thing, I don't think that the person, this player that is being involved in this unfortunate incident, is the first time it happened in South Africa. There are a lot of cases that happen. Unfortunately, people lost lives. Are we saying if these kind of things happen, then are we saying that the employer should stop or fire the person that was involved in an accident before the matter is being deliberated in the court of law?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that we should just wait for the court to deliberate the matter. If the person is found guilty, then obviously it will terminate the contract with his employer. But until then, I don't think the person should be punished and be fired because of the unfortunate incident.
Yeah, Matupa? Yeah, thank you for your thoughts, Matupa. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we've tried, guys. We've tried to get a hold of Sekhukhune. There's a communications manager that we've been trying. In fact, maybe we should try that again, Abel. Should we try ourselves as well this side? Let's try. We have tried. This is going to be another attempt. Cross fingers for us, everyone. What would be weird is if he's listening to us now and he's like, I'm not answering that call. Okay, it's not going to be answered. Oh, my goodness. All right. See, we've really tried since this morning. Trying to get a hold of a comms manager. And I think we have to hold these teams accountable, especially if they're going to lie like that. And who knows? Maybe they can actually give us clarity and say, we didn't lie. There's another family member who gave us the blessing. But if there's a 9-year-old girl who's died, do you go to an uncle? Do you go to a family friend for blessings, or do you go to the mother? Unless, of course, there's a family member who claims to represent the mother. Let's go to WhatsApps.
Hi, Clement. Hi, Hudson from Tembisa. I really feel for the mother. But for the soccer player to really continue with his life as if nothing has happened, it's really an injustice to the family. As much as, the investigations are still continuing, but the fact that, the car was found with booze and drugs and all of those things, the club had the responsibility to literally ban him, not to even allow him to continue and play for the club. I just feel that, really, the club could really have done more. I just feel for the family. My heart goes out to them, honestly.
Greetings, Clement Jabuchilwane in Mkondo. A soccer player doesn't need anybody's blessing to ply his trade, like in playing soccer in this case. So I don't understand why Sekhukhune United needed to even lie to say they received blessings from the deceased family for him to play soccer, which is indeed insensitive. So they shouldn't have even said that. The bail conditions, if it allows him to carry on playing soccer, so must be it. But they should not involve lies saying the family has given them blessings to do so. And indeed, the family is right to say that that is a lie. Thank you.
Bonjour, Clement, your team, and my fellow listeners. Your question is, where is Sekhukhune United? They were playing last night in Polokwane. Maybe the reason, maybe they are not responding to your calls because maybe they are on their way back to Gauteng. Let's wait and see. I don't want to get involved into the technicalities of this matter. But, let me rather leave it there. But they were playing last night. I'm not their spokesperson, live and direct.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyatela
on 702.
Stephen, you're calling from Centurion. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. How are you, sir?
Sure.
Look, once again, the Constitution is holding us ransom. Those Bill of Rights. This gentleman, the player, should be in jail now, proving to us that he's innocent, not us trying to prove that he's guilty. No. After accident, he should have run to the nearest police station. Did he do so? For him to run away from the scene, it means that he's hiding something. Yes, they found some, liquor in the car or something, and he ran away. That's an offense. That's a criminal offense in the first place. We should not be proving to him whether he's guilty or not. He should be in jail fighting to tell us, to give us his side of story, proving to us that he's innocent. So that is a problem. Then tomorrow we come and say, no, the crime in South Africa is high, forgetting that, if crime is committed by somebody that we love, we come and say, no, this guy has the right, 1, 2, 3. Those rights are the reason why we are where we are now in terms of crime in South Africa. Thanks, Clement.
Thank you, Stephen. Nandi in Soweto. Good morning.
Hi.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, Clement, I've got two things to say. If you had done exactly the same thing, Prime Media wouldn't have put you on air, because the integrity of the company, the brand, would not allow that you are out there, you are just going on with your best life and somebody has lost a child. Number two, the step aside rule. It's exactly the same thing. The government, we always say that if you are accused or you have a case pending, you should step aside. This kid shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing on those two principles. Just those are two examples.
But who says that principle is applicable in Sekhukhune? That's an ANC principle.
Yeah, but what I'm saying in terms of integrity, Sekhukhune does not have the integrity. First of all, they've just lied about the mother, because the mother wouldn't come.
Yes, the mother wouldn't just come and say, "I never said that." Yeah,
she won't. Why would she do that? She's just saying that I did not give this person the blessing, and not that they need it. Sekhukhune does not have the integrity. When are you saying to me, if you were in the exactly same position, Prime Media would allow you to be on air? I would be talking to you right now.
I mean, I don't know, Nandi, right? So I do think, which is why
but okay, what is from what you know, and let's say what you know of your boss, what you know of the Prime Media brand, what do you think in a similar situation?
I would expect any company, I would expect any company, including Prime Media, to at least think of, before anything else, they've got to prioritize and think of the family of the victim.
The brand?
Right? Not even the brand. Like, think of the family of the victim. That's the first and foremost thing, right?
They've lost
as
a child.
A company.
A person has died. A 9-year-old child has died.
Yes, but also...
That's the main thing. Whether he did it or not, the child is dead.
Yeah, it's dead. I agree with you, Nandi. The point I want to make is, I think Prime Media would have, any other company would have to prioritize the family of the victim, number one. But also, there are labor laws, right? There are laws that dictate and guide companies on how to approach matters like that. So companies must also not be a law unto themselves and say, oh, because we are so sympathetic towards this, and then we're going to take this decision, even if it violates our own internal policies. So what I'm trying to say to you is, it's so complex, which is why one of the things I would like to know from Sekhukhune United is, what is your policy? What does it say in as far as bringing, let's say, a company or a team into disrepute, or what does it say about when someone is facing charges like the ones that this soccer player is facing? So it's so complex. You also don't want a company that's just going to react because, members of the public are saying this, right? Because otherwise then we are running with what I've been warning about, group thought or cancel culture, or whatever the case is. You want the company to respond to what is being raised by some of the people. And I'm not suggesting companies must not listen to their clients, or in this case, our listeners. I'm just saying that there's so many things to consider. The first and foremost for me is think about the family. Think about the family of the victim. You've got to think about that. And whatever approach you take, they have to be at the center of that. Think about your laws as well. So all of those things need to be considered. Can't just be based on emotion. It's 10 minutes before 10.